Sup everyone, it's Chris from Hedera with another Stuff We Have. And this time we're gonna tackle the intimidating subject of the piano. The piano is one of the most famous and well-known instruments, and here we are, giving it our time. So you guys actually voted for the piano. On Instagram, we put up a poll where we asked if you wanted us to go over either the electroacoustic guitar through an electric guitar amplifier, or the electroacoustic piano through, really, an organ amplifier. And you chose the piano. You chose the tougher topic. But here I am tackling it. Bear with me. Now, the piano is one of the oldest and most well-known Western instruments. It has all kinds of names: upright piano, piano forte, piano, grand piano, whatever. You see, it's super famous. Everyone knows it. Artists such as Beethoven and Liszt have played it. It's historic. It's great. But in the 20th century, we demand something different of it. You see, the piano has all these wonderful components: a big wooden body, an ivory keybed, all the strings for all the pitches, and, most important to us, a cast iron soundboard. Now, what is that, right? That's the part of the piano that makes it so loud, so rich, and so colorful. But it also weighs a ton. 3 to 4 people can comfortably move a piano. The demands of 20th century pop, rock, and soul can't keep up with that. You gotta move around, the practice space, gigging, going to different states in the US, things like that, and you can't easily bring a piano with you. So what do? Well, in the 50s and 60s, a couple of inventions came about: the Fender Rhodes, the Wurlitzer electric piano, and the Hohner clavinet. And all of them are pseudo-pianos. They failed wonderfully at being pianos. They're nothing even close. They don't sound anything like it. However, they're their own sound. They made their own timbres, and they're used all the time. The Doors and Stevie Wonder use instruments like this in every recording they have. Hell, we even have a few. We love these things. But they are not pianos whatsoever. In fact, they failed so wonderfully they created their own palette, not unlike drum machines in the 21st century for a lot of hip-hop and R&B. So, fast forward to the 70s and 80s. And companies like Kawai and Helpenstiel tried to innovate themselves. Most notably, Yamaha came up with the CP series. And what is this? Well, they took a lot of the innovations for the electric guitar and applied that to acoustic pianos, and it worked wonderfully. What it did was it allowed the individual strings of a piano to be treated like those on a guitar, each having its own pickup, in this case, a piezo pickup. And with that, you could amplify pianos through things like guitar amplifiers, PA systems, whatever you want. You could throw them to effects pedals, and in some cases, these electronic systems led to MIDI control. And these things are great. We own a Yamaha CP60M. That's what you'll be hearing later, and they're excellent instruments. The likes of Hall & Oates and Billy Joel famously used these keyboards, and they didn't really sound like pianos. They sounded like their own thing with enough variation and innovation that it kind of fit that piano role pretty well. These unfortunately were pretty short-lived, as digital pianos would take over shortly after. And what a digital piano is, it kind of acts as a trigger pad. You have piano samples, low bit samples, whatever. When you hit a button, it triggers that sample. They're pretty fun, but some of us like the craft of really creating a sound in the moment. And we're not the only ones. Bands such as the Cold War Kids and Keane still use these instruments all the time, and they've inspired us. We use this thing live all the time, and Anthony uses it in all kinds of creative ways. For instance, I mentioned that MIDI capability. Well, we hook up a synthesizer to our Yamaha, and now mid-set, Anthony can suddenly play a synth sound on the keyboard. He can even blend it with the piano sound. We actually plug it into a Leslie speaker, and that whirling, rotating sound is now part of a piano to create something a little different. We were actually inspired by the likes of the Beatles and Pink Floyd, who would do that all the time. This is a great instrument. It's one we love, and we use it pretty often. If you ever see us live in Philly or the surrounding areas, you will hear this and you will love it too. But more excitingly, if you listen to upcoming Hedera recordings, you'll also hear this instrument all over it.
Well, that was a hefty demo.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, you gonna do the thing?
Do what?
You know, the stuff we have thing. It's like you walk in front of the...
Cut!
He was like, I just want to play jazz, man.
Honestly, same.
It's so funny. It's like, Ken, you know, you can.
You can just play the jazz.
Doesn't he do that anyway? Or no? Not as much as he wants.
Did I do an... Oh, here, I got you.
I was confused. I was like, wait, no, that wasn't bad. It's like, that's okay.